Everybody, it creates much more work if we're all together.
Of course, people are leaving because
Right, that's lovely, thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I feel truly blessed because the lights have come on, which is wonderful because it's Hanukkah, and also because we have a full ensemble again this evening, so that's really wonderful. And so the ensemble will start on page 126 with Hine Matov.
Hine Matov, Omanayim, Hine Matov, Omanayim, Hine Matov, Omanayim, Hine Matov, Omanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad, Gam Yachad, Gam Yachad, Hine Matov, Matov, Hine Matov, Matov, Hine Matov, Matov, Hine Matov, Omanayim, Hine Matov, Omanayim, Hine Matov, Omanayim, Hine Matov, Omanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad, Gam Yachad, Gam Yachad, Hine Matov, Matov, Hine Matov, Matov, Hine Matov, Matov.
Thank you. And then, as a precursor to lighting the candle, the Hanukkah candles, we move to page 669 for Not by Might, Not by Power.
The last time we did this was a year ago. Get the message. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. The children sing, the children dream, and the tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by power, Shalom.
Hanukkah lessons and candle lighting. So please come down to light your Hanukkahs. And are there any children who haven't got a Hanukkah? Because if you have, please still come down and join us. You can use ours, yes, exactly. So, my understanding is no, it's the other way. It's left to right. So my understanding is, and I was checking today, that when you place them, you start from the outside and you work in, but when you light from the inside to the out. So you light left to right.
Okay, so you place from outside
Right.
in.
Yes, and then you light
Okay.
outside in. That's what I read today.
Okay, I think I'll follow you, thank
We can all say the brachot together as we light the candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadnek ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavotenu b'yomim hahen b'zman hazeh. And because it's second night, so we don't do Shechianu. Does anybody know the tune to Hanerot Halalim? Because I'm very wobbly on it.
Yes.
Please. Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של חנוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
And at the bottom of the page, we kindle these lights because of the wondrous deliverance you performed for our ancestors. During these 8 days of Hanukkah, these lights are sacred. We are not to use them, but only to behold them, so that their glow may rouse us to give thanks for your wondrous acts of deliverance. And then on page 668, Jess will lead, the ensemble will lead us in Moat Sur.
מעון צור ישועתי, לקנאי לשבח, תיכון בית תפילתי, ושם תודה לזבח, ואת החינתיה, מצד נעדיה, אז אתמול בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח, אז אתמול בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח.
And then, before Ada lights the candles to welcome in Shabbat, I would just like to read you a poem called The Hidden Light by Sid Weissman. Passed from every generation, these are rules for how to spark light in the darkest days, Kislev to Kislev. Place the shamash first, then put candles right to left. Make sure to light them left to right. 3 blessings you will sing on the first night, only 2 for the rest of Chag. Don't work while the candles shimmer. Place the Chanukiah so all can see. Light the Chanukiah before Shabbat candles. This year, I discovered a hidden light passed from every generation, seeing it only when I needed it most. The Sevivon flickers too, spinning. I vividly envisage Nes Gadol Hayasham. A great miracle happened there. Ada, please will you honor us with lighting the candles? Please will you stand? It's page 118.
Help us to find knowledge by which we live. Help us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness, mercy, and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness, mercy, and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and lead the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Please be seated. At the bottom of page 119, help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. And then page 121. If children live with criticism, they learn to condemn. If children live with hostility, they learn to fight. If children live with ridicule, they learn to be shy. If children live with shame, they learn to feel guilty. If children live with tolerance, they learn to be patient. If children live with encouragement, they learn confidence. If children live with praise, they learn to appreciate. If children live with fairness, they learn justice. If children live with security, they learn to have faith. If children live with approval, they learn to like themselves. If children live with acceptance and friendship, they learn to find love in the world. And then moving to page 132 for Ozarur.
Israel
יש קרובים תנוס הארץ, אדוני בציון גדול. ברם הוא על כל המים, יודו שמך גדול ונורא קדוש הוא. בעוז מלך משפט אהב, אתה כהנת מישרים, משפט וצדקה בידך אתה עשית. רממו אדוני אלוהינו, וישתחוו לאדם רגליו, קדוש הוא. רממו אדוני אלוהינו, וישתחוו לקודשו, כי קדוש Adonai Eloheinu. Exalt the eternal our God and bow toward God's holy hill. The eternal our God is holy. And we move to Lakadodi on page 138. But just let's take a few seconds to quietly close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths. Let the trials and the tribulations, the worry, the stress, internal and hugely external of this last week once again, just float away and let your shoulders drop. Just take a few slow deep breaths, and then Jess and the ensemble will lead us in Lakadodi. The Shabbat, with the beautiful symbolism of welcoming Shabbat as a bride, we move to page 140, where we have a song of praise for the Shabbat, Mizmor Shir.
Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon.
Are you carrying on?
Sadiq, yeah.
Yeah, so immediately after Sadiq Katama.
Sadiq Katama Yifrak Yifrak Sadiq Katama Yifrak Keres Keres Bavanon Yizge Keres Bavanon Yizge Stulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu bechatzrot Eloheinu Od Yenovon Meseva Od Yenovon Meseva Shenim Veranani Shenim Veranani Mio Lehagir Ki Ashar Lehagir Ki Ashar Adonai Suri Suri Elo Avlatamo
Thank you. There is a tradition to then separate the Kabbalat Shabbat as we move into the Shabbat evening service. And rather than the Chatzi Kaddish, I'm going to read on page 145. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. And then we move to page 150, page 146 for Baruchu. Please stand.
Da
We move to Ahavat Olam on page 150. The last time I had the honour of standing here before you to sing this, nobody had come home. 50 have come home. There are still at least 200 more. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha, Ahavta, Torah, u'mitzvot, chukim, u'mishpatim, otanu, limadata, al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shoch beinu, v'kumeinu, nasiach, b'chuchecha, b'nismach, b'divrei Toratecha, Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam, le'olam bo'ed, ki hem chayenu, ve'arech yomeinu, uvahem negeh yomam v'layla. V'yaftecha al tasi mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who loves your people Israel. Page 152, the Shema.
And Sarah's going to sing the Shema for us.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Amen.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Moving to page 154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשופך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשורך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורתם ואנחנו על ציצית הכנפי בתהיל תכלת. והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם. ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם צנים אחריכם. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Top of page 156. Emet ve'emuno kol zot v'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ben zulato, v'anachnu Yisroel amo. Page 158, Mi kamocha. Mi kamocha bo'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedor b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, Nora tehilot osef eleh. Mahutecha ra'uanecha okeyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam zeli anu yameru. Mi kamocha bo'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedor b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, Nora tehilot osef eleh. Thank you. And then on page 162, V'shamru. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat l'doratam b'rit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim v'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i shovat vayinu fash. And then Marian is going to lead us in the first part of the Amidah. Margaret, please, would you honor us with opening the ark? Adonai, Sefativta, Ufia, Gitehilate, Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Emotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Gadol Yod v'Hanorah, Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chatzei Avot v'Imahot, U'mei Golad, Libnei Bneihem L'man Shmo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Amen. Atah Gitur Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim atah Rav L'Hoshia, Mashik Baruch U'Marit HaGeshem, Matzriach HaShemesh U'Marit HaTov, V'Akel Chaim b'Chesed, Mechayei Metim v'Rachamim Ravim, Sovev Novim, Rov v'Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, So we're at the top of page 172. Ata kidashtai et yom hashvi'i l'shimcha, taklit ma'aseh shamayim ba'aretz, v'vorachto michol hayamim, v'kidashto michol hazmanim, v'kein kato b'toratecha, v'yechul hashemayim ba'aretz v'chol zva'am, v'yechol Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa, v'yishbot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayevarech Elohim et Yom HaShvi'i, v'kadesh oto, ki bo Shabbat mikol malachto, asher bara Elohim la'asot. Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu, ritzei minukatenu, kadshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'ten chaktenu b'toratecha. Sabeinu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha. V'tahe libeinu, v'yavtecha b'yemet, v'yanucha leinu Adonai Eloheinu. Be'aval v'ratzon Shabbat kodshecha, v'anuch uva Yisrael mekadesh shemecha, Baruch ata Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. On page 174. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, v'yamcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam be'avat titkabel. Utehila ratzon tamid avdet Yisrael amecha, al karov l'chol korav, panav el avdecha, v'technenu, shofek rutecha aleinu. V'tezenu enene b'shuvecha, v'tzion v'rachamim, baruch atah Adonai, amazir shechinato l'tzion. And then we move, just this is where I was a bit confused. Are you doing, you're not doing Modin? Yeah. Yeah, so sorry. Modin Manachnu Lach at the top of page 176. Modim אנחנו לך שיעתו הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו לעולם ועד. צור חיינו מגן נפשנו עתו הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך על חיינו המזרעים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותינו וטובתך שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים. הטוב כי לא חלו רחמך וחמריהם, כי לא תמו חסדך מעולם וקינו לך. And then we move to page 556 for the special insert for Hanukkah, but please don't lose your page on 176. Al tasim vial hapurachav, vial hagvurot, vial hashtoravot, vial hamilchamot, she'asati lavotenu bayamim hahen bazman hazeh. In the days of the Hasmoneans, Mattathias ben Yochanan, the high priest, and his children, when the evil government of Greece rose up against your people Israel to make them forget your Torah and to make them leave the laws of your will, in your great mercy you rose up with them in their time of trouble and fought in their fight, judged their cause just. You delivered the mighty into the hands of the weak, the many into the hands of the few, the unclean into the hands of the pure, the evil into the hands of the righteous, and the arrogant into the hands of those who engage in your Torah. You made for yourself a great and holy name in your world and for your people Israel. You brought about the great triumph and redemption on that very day. And then your children came to the Holy of Holies and emptied your temple, and purified your holy place, and kindled the lights in your holy courts, and established these 8 days of Hanukkah, grateful to acknowledge and to praise your great name. And then we move to Shalom Yismachu.
Yambri bam bam bam, Shabbat, Shabbat. Yambri bam bam bam, Shabbat, Shabbat. Yambri bam bam bam, Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat. Yismachu, Yismachu b'malchutcha. Yismachu, Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomrei Shabbat, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei onegonei Shabbat. Shomrei Shabbat, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei onegonei Shabbat. Aham v'kadeshei shiri. Kulam yisbu v'yittamu. V'yitu v'cha Shabbat, Shabbat. Yismachu, Yismachu b'malchutcha. Yismachu, Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomrei Shabbat, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei onegonei Shabbat. Shomrei Shabbat, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei onegonei Shabbat. V'hoshevi v'atzita bo, ratzita bo v'kidashto, and atyamino tokarata, ze'elama ze'bereshit. Yismachu, Yismachu b'malchutcha. Yismachu, Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomrei Shabbat, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei onegonei Shabbat. Shomrei Shabbat, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei onegonei Shabbat.
And then on page 178, Shalom Rav, grant us peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Yatahu Melech Adon, V'chol HaShalom.
Adonai Hamoreh Chatamu Yisrael Shalom. Please be seated. Thank you, Marion. Thank you, Margaret. In the middle of page 180, my God, guard my speech from evil and my lips from deception. Help me to be ever modest, holding my tongue even when people slander me. Open my heart to your Torah that I may pursue your mitzvot. As for all who think evil of me, cancel their designs and frustrate their schemes. Act for your own sake, the sake of your power, for the sake of your holiness, for the sake of your Torah, so that your loved ones may be rescued. Save with your power and answer me. Or say shalom.
Ose shalom, Roma, Oyase shalom, Aleinu. Ve'acho Yisrael, ve'yimeru, Amen. Ose shalom, Roma, Oyase shalom, Aleinu.
Please turn to page 511 for the Mishaberach. And if anyone would like to call out the names of somebody who they would like to wish a Revuah Shlema because they are physically or emotionally unwell or struggling, and remembering once again all of our brethren in Israel and everyone who is caught up in the the Hamas-Israel war. So, starting from the back.
Peter
Steve
Sosniak,
Linehan,
Steve Linehan, Neil Danziger,
Anthony Winfield,
Faith Stillwell.
Moshe Segal, Rich Samayo, Paul Fleischer, Tom Katz, Meta Katz, Greg Feuchter, Brian Nogg, and Gabrielle Gifford.
Thank you. Any more names? Yes, the ensemble.
May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Now please turn to page 378 for Rosh Chodesh. Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei Avotenu shetachadesh aleinu et hachodesh haba l'tova v'livracha v'titen lanu chayim aruchim chayim shel shalom chayim shel paranasa chayim shatahei banu ahavta Torah v'yirat shamayim chayim shimalanu mishaleot libenu l'tova amen. Misha asa nisim labotenu v'gal otam mivodot lacharot hu yegael oetnu b'karov charvim kol Yisrael v'ne'ama amen. Rosh Chodesh Tevet yiyeh bayom chamishi haba aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael l'tova. May it be the will of the Holy One ever to be praised that it bring for us and for the whole house of Israel life and peace, happiness and joy, deliverance and consolation. And let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. So I could have taken the easy way out this evening. Looking back through my Saved Divrei Torah, I've spoken on Vayeshev before, and I'm actually quite proud of the in-depth coverage of the Sedra that I invoked then. But then I was thinking while walking in the Delta Park, and I suddenly thought, no. This is Shabbat Chanukah, the Maccabees, resistance, the current Israel-Hamas war, and that's what I needed to talk about. How many of you remember the movie Defiance? A somewhat Hollywoodized telling the story of the Bielski brothers. Not so anodized, however, since it is used by the Jewish Partisan Education Foundation in their courses. But before I go into the main part of what I'd like to say, I want to briefly hark back to last week's Sedra Vayishlach. Leonard Jacob remarked that his reaction to the rape of his daughter Dinah was not one of his finer moments. In the light of the current #MeToo Unless You're Jewish campaign, it is worth taking a few moments to delve into what we know happened. Dinah, who is voiceless, is the only daughter. Probably fed up with the company of older women, her mothers and aunts, and all that testosterone running around in her brothers, she decides she would like to find some young girls of her own age. What could be more natural? Yet most of our sages tell us that because she went out, what followed was in some way her fault. So do all the international women's groups who have been so loudly silent over the desecration of so many Jewish women believe that in some way it was their faults because they were at a music festival or on the beach or at home looking after their families or in the IDF defending. Tomorrow ends the annual 16 days of activism against violence against women and children in this country. It isn't about 16 days a year. It's about 365 or sometimes 366 days every year. To return, for those of you who have visited the Holocaust and Genocide Center, you will notice the trees surrounding the courtyard. One of their symbolic meanings is that forests are places of hiding and resistance, and were so during the Holocaust. There were other partisan groups, but if Jews joined a Russian or Polish resistance group and were discovered to be Jewish, they were murdered. The Bielski brothers hid and cared for over 1,200 Jews in the Nalibiki forest, which is around Novgorod and Nida, in what was German-occupied Poland. They ransacked villages for food and clothing for those they were protecting, and carried out acts of sabotage, such as blowing up train tracks and railway bridges to counter the Nazi war effort. The Maccabees were a group of Jewish rebel warriors who took control of Judea, which at that time was part of the Seleucid Empire. They founded the Hasmonean dynasty, which ruled from 167 to 37 before the Common Era, being a fully independent kingdom from 104 to 63 BCE. They reasserted the Jewish religion, expanded the boundaries of Judea by conquest, and reduced the influence of Hellenism and Hellenistic Judaism. That is Greece and the Greek practices that had crept into Jewish practice at the time. They became known as the Hasmoneans. Having violently and actively fought against the occupying Assyrian Greeks, as we know, they discovered the temple had been completely desecrated, and their passive resistance was to restore the temple to its former sanctity and to send to oil for the Ner Tamid. And we are told by a miracle, a day's worth of oil lasted for 8 days, the 8 days it took to fetch more supplies. Hence Hanukkah, and the beautiful Chanukiot we have lit together today. Returning to the Holocaust and Genocide Center, in the second room of the exhibition, The World as Was, there is a photo that for me epitomizes passive resistance and is so relevant to today, and in fact, in this week has become even more relevant. It is of a lit Chanukiah in a window, and looking from the inside of the window, directly opposite is a Nazi flag. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's deeply saddened that not only in this country, but in many countries in the world, the huge menorah that are normally lit in shopping centres are not present, not because the Jewish communities don't want them and the security organisations have said no, but because the malls have decided not. But I did notice as we drove past Victory Park today, coming to shul, there is a Chanukiah outside. It's not huge, but it's obvious, and I believe that many of the shuls around the city will be displaying some form of Chanukiot. So we're not being silenced, and we're not being bullied and victimized into not being able to be who we are and proud of who we are. So again, returning, further on in the exhibition, there is more information, mostly pictorial, on the Bielski partisan groups and other forms of resistance. With the current rise in global anti-Semitism, I feel that passive resistance becomes a responsibility for all of us. What does it look like? In the ghettos, it meant clandestine teaching, holding services, celebrating festivals as hidden as possible from prying Nazi eyes, or those willing to betray Jews for a few groschen. Today in South Africa, it means continuing to wear your Magen David. It might mean continuing to wear a kippah at all times if that is your practice. It means shopping at those businesses perceived to be Jewish and refusing to be intimidated. It means having our Chanukiahs visible. It means being proud to be Jewish, proud of our heritage, proud of Israel, and the desperate efforts of the IDF and everyone involved to bring the hostages home and to destroy Hamas, an internationally recognized as a terrorist organization. It also means understanding the meaning of the word genocide that is all too quickly used to vilify Israel. Genos, Greek, people or race, and side, Latin for murder. The word was termed by Raphael Lemkin, who fought a one-man campaign to have what the Nazis did to the Jewish people and the other groups they tried to exterminate, defined as something more than crimes against humanity or mass murder. The United Nations Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, which was ratified on the 9th of December 1948, so exactly 75 years ago today, defines genocide as acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial or religious group. The stated aim of Iran and Hamas is to destroy Israel and the Jewish people. That is what the terrifying chant of "From the River to the Sea" means. That is genocide. Granted, the majority of people joining these so-called protest marches probably haven't got a clue what they're marching for, and certainly no knowledge of 3,000 plus years of history that feed into this conflict, and that is beside the events of May 1948 that precipitated the more recent history. The term never again was also brought into being, but in the words of Primo Levi, also a survivor and a Nobel Prize winner for literature, it happened and it can happen again. This is the core of what we have to say. It can happen and it can happen everywhere. And it has, and it still continues to happen. And finally, I would like to quote an unknown survivor of the Sachsenhausen camp. I've told you this story not to weaken you, but to strengthen you. Now it is up to you. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And now we are going to move towards the Kaddish on page 598. But before we do, and before I read the names, A Prayer for All People by Rabbi Jill Hausman. Eternal Source, as you are the one who gives life to all, we pray for all our brothers, others, and sisters of every race, religion, nation, and neighborhood. Help us to see in you every human face, to feel you in the warmth of every human heart. Teach us to love and to heal each other, to make peace and to respond to each other's needs. As we inhabit one earth, we are one human family, with one divine parent. As you send blessings to us, please bless all of our sisters, others, and brothers with good health, prosperity, insight, wisdom, and joy, and help us to be a blessing. If we have a vision of a time of peace and harmony, surely we and you, Eternal One, have dreamed it together. And it is with great sadness that we advise of the passing of Edwin Eliyahu Sigamoni last Saturday morning. And then also this morning, the mother of Rory Rutenberg, who most of you will remember was until very recently a member of our ensemble, and even when he moved to Cape Town to be with his mother, for a long time he joined us regularly on Zoom. So our hearts go out to Rory. Gareth Casal, brother of Jeanette Cohen. Hazel Cooper, wife of Leslie Cooper. Isabel Feinberg, mother of David Feinberg. Julius Galvin, father of Larry Galvin. Glenda Levin, sister of Lally Scher. Joy Ovens, mother of Wendy Kaminsky Ovens. Iris Prague, mother of Diane Lazarus. Bertha Sachs, mother of Evelyn Trocki. Sid Tubkin, father of Gavin Tubkin. So Jeanette and anybody else who is here, would you wish to come to lead Kaddish? Anybody else with the yacht tonight that I haven't mentioned? Thank you.
last distribution of the Sami project for this year. And we're trying to make it a very big occasion.
What's the Sami project?
Give sandwiches to the homeless in Hillbrook. Good. You must come there on Thursday to help us do it now. What I'm requesting is that let's make it a gala event. We're going to try and gather enough money to be able to buy pick and pay hampers to be able to distribute to at least 100 of the people. We've got some money in our funds, but not enough. So it would be nice. But if you can't do that, please would you make sandwiches, bring fruit, or any non-perishable tins or items to the shul before Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
What is the cost for the pick and pay hampers?
Bring it here Wednesday afternoon for distribution on Thursday. That's it. 5 o'clock on Wednesday.
So if anybody is on Zoom and missed that, please look in the bulletin at the section on the Samis project, and you will basically hear what Paul said. Children, are there any children? Are they all outside? All right. Any children who are here, we could. I would like to bless you, or with some help. Are there any more outside? There must be. Thank you.
No bunch of other kids.
Okay. So we will bless you, and then we're going to sing Adan Alam on 625, and we will lighten the mood a little. Just wait for the children. Evidently they don't want their sweets tonight. Their chocolates.
Donuts with a whole lot of other things.
Okay, right. Is everybody coming? They're coming, okay. Maybe we'll do this the other way around while we wait for the kids. So, here they are. Okay, could I have a couple of people who are rather less vertically challenged than I am to hold a large tallit over children? Three? Any more? Are there any? There were.
There are a bunch of other kids.
Oh, well, if they're not coming, they can.
They lose out.
Oh, come on, Barry. Come on. Come on. Quick, quick. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Ya'eh Adonai panav elecha v'yituhunecha. Yisra Adonai panav elecha v'yisam lecha shalom.
Amen.
Wow. So, page 625. Adan Alam Hashem Alach B'terem Kol Yetzi Nevra Li'eg Naso B'chesed Chol Azai Melech Shema Nichra Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach Hanukkah. Please join us for the bracha. And I have it on good authority that there are donuts for adults as well as the kids.